Hi everybody and welcome to Photomikes Garage. Alright, today is a special day because I'm going to do a camo wrap, but not a wrap, job on the Jeep here. I don't really know what I'm doing. Okay, so in this video I can't necessarily recommend that you do exactly what I'm doing because this is my first time at trying this, but what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take my boring white Jeep and I'm going to try and make it exciting and something that people are going to point to when it goes by them on the street. And the way I'm going to do that is by using a vinyl wrap material and make my own camouflage type of look. And I'm not a professional. I could never wrap a whole vehicle. So what I'm doing is I'm going to cut pieces out and place them on the car to actually give the visual effect. And I don't really know if this is going to work out, but I've got all my supplies I think I need to do the job, and so let's see how this goes. Okay, I've got my 2014 Jeep Rubicon, in case you missed it. Rubicon, kind of bragging there. The Jeep Rubicon has been completely cleaned and I've clay barred the entire surface. You can get the clay bars anywhere. Use this to take off any contaminants that stick to your paint. The whole surface is clean. And here are my materials. And I have a selection of vinyls here. I've got a sort of a slate gray. I've got a slightly bluish gray. I've got Ferrari red. And I've got a light gray. I'm going to use the white paint on the Jeep as the base color and then cut out shapes using the vinyl and then place them on the Jeep. Let's see what happens. Now to do this job I've also got some 3M finish line knifeless tape. This will allow me to cut things out and avoid using the knife where I would maybe cut the paint. So I don't know if I'm going to be using this, but I've got that. I've got a nice quality squeegee. I got my felt liners you put on the edge. I got my felt stickies that go on the end of the squeegee that protects the vinyl when you scrape it to get the air bubbles out. And I've got myself a nice high quality knife to cut out the vinyl. All this was from Vvivid. The vinyl wrap that I got, these samples, I've got 2 feet by 5 feet for 1, 2, 3 of these. Now that may not be enough. I might have to order more. I don't know. And I've got 1 by 5 foot for the wrap, and I've got a 1 by 5 foot for the Ferrari red. This might use this as an accent color. I don't know yet. I'll put a link below where you can actually purchase these items yourself. If you're interested in trying this crazy idea, I don't know if you are, but I'm pretty excited because this is going to really make the Jeep look really, really different if I'm successful. Let's get started. Now my inspiration for this camouflage job, I see a lot of jobs out there. I see a lot of camo Jeeps out there and they have the blob look, like curved edges, round shapes. I'm not going to do that. The Jeep has got lots of straight edges, very flat shapes, so I'm going to do sharp edges and polygons and triangles basically. And my inspiration for this was actually a battleship. I'll insert the picture here. A battleship used, I believe, in the Second World War. Then they used to use camo on the battleships to try to make sure, keep them safe away from the submarines and such. But anyway, this camo job on this battleship is something that I'm going to try to emulate in some form. And as you can see, it's got lots of sharp triangles and edges. That's what I'm going to do on this Jeep. Okay, I've got my first shape kind of cut out. Okay, so I got my first piece on the flat hood just so I can sort of experiment with it and try to squeegee it out. I'm just learning as I go, so I'm get the feel of the vinyl to start off with. There we go. There's a little something right there. Oh, bubbles. Let's see if I can get them out. that bubble went out. Getting rid of this bubble. Let's see. Is that a bubble? Yeah, see there's still some little things on my hood. But this is down. Okay. That is my start. Right. Yes, that is the start of something impressive. Okay. This is my progress so far. I've used the knifeless tape to go around my Rubicon Deco because I want that to be visible even after the camouflage is over it. That will cut a line straight along here and cut a line straight along here, I think, and then I can take this piece right out and just the Rubicon will show. But the whole thing is a little bit more difficult than I thought. As you can see, I cut right here. It's not an even cut. You can see white behind there, so I'm not happy about that. I tried to go around the side marker light here and I got some folds, plus also it's not exactly straight. So this is, it's a little harder than it looks, but that's just a matter of having experience in doing these different things. So I'm experimenting as I go. And again, you can see white. I want to have no white. So yeah, this is what it's all about. And again, I got knifeless tape around the Rubicon Deco so that I can take this piece out later. And you can see this cut, this is one of my first cuts, a very rough cut. A very rough cut, not straight at all, and it shows up. I don't like that at all. So it does take some time. You've got to position each piece. Now, of course, those pieces are kind of difficult. Pieces like this, that was fairly easy because we have a nice flat hood. And so that part will go no problem, but it's when you get to cutting the edges and going around complex curves, that's where you appreciate the artistry and the experience of an experienced vinyl wrapper. Okay, starting to get a little bit better at this, but still not good. But now I've added a very light gray. In some cases, the light gray is intersecting and over the darker gray. Now that's going to leave a little seam, but I'm okay with that. And I've got some of my splashes, and I think it's starting. It's a gradual process. The thing that makes it a little bit difficult is that you have to sort of decide where you're going to have your next piece, and that takes some figuring. I mean, and also I'm getting better at doing curves. I've learned that the heat is very dangerous. The heat gun I have is actually a industrial mechanics type heat gun. It's very 1,500 watts, way too powerful, and it will quickly melt it. So you got to use just a little bit of heat and then keep working the curves. Keep working the curves with your fingers, and it is kind of working. I have wrecked a number of pieces just by adding too much heat. You really can't get away with that. You know, I'm starting to get a little excited about it, and we'll see what happens.
2,000 years later.
Okay, everybody, there's the finished product. I didn't go over every little detail of what I did because obviously I'm an amateur. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I will say there's lots of small mistakes that I made. A little bit of learning happened on the way, and yeah, this shows you what you can do with $100 worth of vinyl from Vvivid Vinyl. Very high quality stuff, and a nice sharp knife and a squeegee with a felt tip and a couple of rulers, and there you go. This is the result. I don't know if I'm finished yet. Sort of my theme is that the car is going through a cloud of like confetti, sharp edge confetti, and it's mostly attached at the front of the vehicle. As you can see, it's light gray, darker gray with some red accents, just to confuse everybody. And as you go further down the side of the vehicle, it starts to peter out. It starts to peter out until at the very end, you can see that there's very little or nothing on the back end, and then there's more. Now it's just the theme I'm going with for now. If I wanted to, I could continue to put more on the back and just have it all even all the way. But for now, I kind of like the idea that the vehicle is going through a cloud of sharp pieces of paper that are sticking to the Jeep. I don't know, but yeah, so it's nice and contrasty. Now everyone's going to notice Winter the Jeep. And this side, you can't really see it. I'm going to pull the Jeep out so you can actually see the patterns and what I've got done here. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It turned out good. There's a few spots that I made some mistakes. I burned the vinyl on a few areas. A few areas the vinyl doesn't like to stick. I forgot to clean around the edges of the door. And of course, the vinyl had a hard time sticking on the edges. You got to use your heat gun. Yeah, and I had trouble with some of the complex curves. If you try and put vinyl over this curve on the fender, you got a curve here, you got a curve here, and it takes a more professional approach. And I did get them on, but you have to heat them up and stretch them a bit. But it does work. But that's my theme for Winter the Jeep. All right, that looks pretty awesome. I think. What do you guys think? Did I go too far? How we got her out of the garage, you can actually see what this looks like. Okay, everybody, let me know what you think about my camo job done on Winter the Jeep. Is it yay or nay? Let me know in the comments below. So thanks for watching Photomikes Garage. I will see you next time.